All right, ladies and gents, Nick Sirianni in as head coach. Let's talk about this a little bit, guys. Not necessarily about Nick Sirianni. I already did my breakdown. I told you guys what I thought about him. I said that, look, this guy is a really good play designer. Look, he's got some experience calling plays, but he's not the most experienced guy here. I mean, it was Frank Reich's play calling there. But I want to talk about the staff he brought in. Because like I said, I can give you 100 names at coach. Some of these guys will work out. Some of these guys won't work out. To me, what's always kind of the determining factor, it lies in a few things. And one of the most important things is the staff you bring in with you. It's the coordinators and the assistants that you surround yourself with that really play a large role in your success or failure. So let's talk D coordinator, guys. Let's talk about some defensive coordinator options with Nick Sirianni's staff. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. Today's topic, guys. Look, we got to hire in a head coach. This is a big first step. I like Nick Sirianni. I know I was a big Deuce guy too, guys. I was. And I'm going to get into a video about Deuce. I don't know who Nick Sirianni's offensive coordinator is going to be. If news doesn't break by Saturday morning, I will release a video Saturday morning detailing my support behind Deuce Staley as the OC. Because I do think there is an argument to be made here about keeping Deuce with Nick as the OC. Because, let's be real, if you know anything about that Colts offense, it's a matchup-based offense, and it really likes to use its running backs as wide receivers, as receiving backs, I should say. So Deuce makes a lot of sense in that standpoint. He's been helping and designing with things when it comes to the running backs. I can see merit here, but we'll get to that in a separate video. Today, we're talking defensive coordinators. I want to give you a couple of options, guys, but the main candidate I'm going to project to you guys is someone who's already getting interest across the league, so we're going to have to fight for him because the Los Angeles Chargers already want him, okay? Brandon Staley came in right away and tried to peg this guy, so I even said in a post yesterday to somebody when I was talking to him that if we want this gentleman, we better move fast because he's got interest around the league. If you were to say, Gate, your best shot of effort, who's going to be the defensive coordinator that this guy's going to peg? To be honest with you guys, I don't know. But here's my shot in the dark. Jonathan Gannon, cornerback coach, Indianapolis Colts. All right, y'all. Let me talk for a second. All right, Jonathan Gannon is one of these really hot names that kind of popped up. I heard about as soon as the Colts got kind of knocked out of the playoffs. Immediately, there started to be some buzz around him getting a much larger role with another organization. I'll give you the basic stats, guys, okay? And then we can talk, and you guys tell me what you guys think in the comments and all that. Yards. If you're only looking at yards as a marker, okay, it's not going to look like the greatest thing in the world because this is very much a bend, don't break style of defense, okay? On the season, he's given up 3,866 passing yards, which ranks about 20th in the league, okay? So he's not quite bottom third, but he's towards the back end of that middle area, right? I mean, it's not anything to write home about in terms of the yardage. However, when you look a little deeper into things, it's not quite as bad as it seems. So completions. There's been 369 completions against his defense against 562 attempts. Round that up from 65.6 to just 66% completion rate. It's not horrible. It's not great. He's certainly not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's ranked the third if you look at yards and other markers like that, defense in the league. But they only gave up 57% completion rate. To me, that's a pretty good marker of a defense there. If you look at the Rams, who had the highest rated defense in terms of pass defense, in terms of yardage, they gave up 63% passes. So, I mean, 66 to 63, it's not that big a difference here, guys. And the Rams also had the benefit of having Jalen Ramsey. So, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Not bad. This isn't horrible. We can see, though, 66%, 3,800 yards. It's a bend, don't break approach. We can already see this right from the jump, guys, all right? So let's keep doing. With this bend, don't break approach, did he give up touchdowns? Because it's not bend, don't break if you're breaking, right? You're just bending till you break. So on the season, if we look at touchdowns and where this defense ranked, they gave up 24 touchdowns on the year, which was 12th overall. That's not bad. I mean, like I said, it does fit the narrative of a bend, don't break style of defense. It's one thing to bend, don't break, but can you turn people over? Right? We've known here in Philadelphia that one of the largest issues we have had recently defensively is we've had a guy that could really scheme things when he wanted to. All right, I will take nothing away from Jim Schwartz's smarts. He was a smart guy. But a lot of times he was asked to make, lemonade, with nothing. And to be honest with you, his defense didn't always live up to the turnover margins, right? It didn't create a lot of turnovers. So as I'm looking at Jonathan Gannon's defense, if I see a bend don't break, approach, it's good to see that you're in the top third in terms of preventing touchdowns. But can you turn teams over too? And this is where I really like this guy as a candidate, guys. 15 interceptions on the season, which ranks about 8th in terms of the 8th highest percentage in the league, or number in the league. That's pretty good. He can turn people over, okay? He's clearly playing some zone concepts, all right? I'm not overly familiar with the system, guys, so I don't know if I would assume he's a predominantly cover 3 guy because they're very good at defending the run. They're second in the league at defending the run. It's normally how you stack the boxes with cover 3 because, it's a read downhill first, then react later kind of defense. I definitely see some merit here to this guy. I see some legitimacy to his candidacy. I'll give you one more advanced, stat to kind of look at here, guys, to make your decision and tell me how you feel. First down markers, okay? On the year, he gave up 203 first downs, which was the 17th most, okay? 20th in yards, 17th in first down. I don't know exactly where you're at 66% ranked in terms of like the NFL, but 66% completion rate, but upper third of the league in terms of preventing touchdowns, right? He only gave up 24, which was 12th. And then in the upper part of the league, upper third of the league when it comes to turnovers with interceptions at 15. That's what this guy is. That's the defense. That's the hard numbers behind it. But he's only one candidate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. And I want to end this conversation by giving you a few more people that I don't know if they'll come here in Philadelphia, guys. I can't tell you that. I have no clue. But I can tell you a few guys that there are connections to. And I can give you a few names that maybe there's not connections to, but they're probably available. All right? So let's get into that. All right, ladies and gents, if we take a trip down memory lane and go way back to 2012 when he really got his first opportunities to coach in Kansas City, he was there with Romeo Crennel and Romeo Crennel's staff, okay? So clearly he's got a connection to Romeo Crennel. Romeo Crennel is not the most attractive candidate to me, but he's a veteran guy. He's been in the league a while. It doesn't fit the guy that I would want per se, but I can understand why the front office might be enamored with such a hire. He's an older guy. He's run the 34. He's a big cover 3. And there was a big hoopla about him running fire zones in Kansas City, the fire zone blitz concept. It's Romeo Crennel. He's got a name. I don't know if I'd be overly excited by that, but it's a guy that can bring you, can credentialize you, right? John Pagano, who's Chuck Pagano, who we know from Chicago. Chuck Pagano's like younger brother, John. I spent a lot of time with linebackers, and during Frank Reich and Sirianni's like time in San Diego, he was the defensive coordinator there. Okay, high zone guy. This is a guy that would emphasize like linebackers. I don't know that much about his coverage scheme, guys, other than it is a zone concept. So it could be anything from Chuck used to run a lot of cover 6. It could be cover 6, cover 2, cover 3, quarters. I don't know, guys. I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know. We'd have to see there, but there's a connection to John Pagano. Another big name. It's not going to go over so well, guys, but I think he didn't get a fair shake in Dallas because I don't think they had the right personnel to run his scheme. But Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan being a 34 guy that's been saying that, he can run 43 too. He's a hybrid guy. He's a 34 guy. He can still run a hybrid, but he's primarily a 34 guy. He's a 2-gap scheme guy. 2-gap where he runs cover 2. He's got connections with Mike Nolan during his time there with the San Diego Chargers, okay? So that's a possibility. Those are the guys I know that he has connections to in his coaching career, okay? John Pagano, Mike Nolan, Romeo Crennel, and then Jonathan Gannon. Those are the guys I know for a fact he has connections to. But I'm going to give you one little more segment here, guys, and I'll talk about the guys that maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know, but these are just guys that interest me personally that I would talk about, that I would target. Number one guy for me, Gregg Williams. That Jet staff just got released. I don't know if he's going to be retained and brought back or not. But Gregg runs a lot of 43, and you'll see him do some nickel stuff. You know, that 4-2-5 nickel. He's not a foreign concept guy. He's a one gapper. Difference is that he plays a lot more zone than what Jim did. He's a cover 3, cover 6 guy. You'll see him run a little Tampa 2. This is a guy's system I know really well. He will bracket number 1 receivers. I like Gregg Williams, guys. If he's available, I like that name. I would take a shot on Gregg Williams. Yes, we can be concerned about some of the dirty nature of Gregg Williams' staff, that sometimes he can maybe amp his players up to do things that maybe toe a line a little too far. I get it, but I like the guy. The next person I'll recommend, okay? We're going to go to Pittsburgh staff, and I'm going to give you 2 names off of Pittsburgh staff. Number 1, I'm going to talk about their linebacker coach, okay? Jerry Olszewski. I don't know how you say his name, guys. I'm sorry, I probably just butchered this man's name, but he's the inside linebacker coach for Pittsburgh. I think it's Olszewski. I think is how you say it. But Jerry Olszewski is like a really, really good coach. He's been around the league for over 10 years. This is a guy that, I think he makes some sense, man. He's had a lot of success in Pittsburgh. This is a guy that I could see definitely being tapped to come in here to Philadelphia as a defensive coordinator. If there's any kind of connection, any kind of, substance between Sirianni and, Olszewski. I don't know how you say this guy's name, guys. The other person I'll talk about is Terrell Austin, the secondary coach, cornerback coach in Pittsburgh. You talk about an innovative scheme, guys. Come on, man. I'm in favor of Terrell Austin coming here. Like, that's a big one for me that I would definitely try to pluck away, because I think this guy's definitely going to be a future head coach. Like, he may not have the greatest amount of it. Well, no, Terrell Austin's been around the league for a long time, actually, so he's got experience. But I don't know if he can pluck him away. It's going to be hard to take a guy from Mike Tomlin, but I would try. I would try hard. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, guys, these are my candidates that I just said here. Let me know what you think. Do you have some candidates? Tell me their names. I'll take a look into them, and if it takes a week or 2 to maybe get some coordinators in here, I can make videos around some of these guys. So let me know your guys. Let me know your picks. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. And all right, guys, we'll see what happens from here, guys. To me, the head coach, it matters, but this is the part to me that matters the most. Show me your coordinators and assistants. That's what's really going to matter.